Wow, what kind of speech do I give you? Probably the worst beating I've taken as a coach. And first of all, I'd give 80% of the credit to Purdue. I thought they, when Boudreau hits 3 out of 5 and he's hit one all year, that's tough. They made some free throws. Arms come in, hits his first 2 shots. Kind of the game started with a turnover by us, and my smartest guy found a 3-point shooter that's shooting 10% in the league in Wheeler, and it's kind of 19-4 lead. And then when we got it down to 12 or 13 or 11, whatever, 11 at one time when Markey took the 3, and I think it was 12 when we got the charge. I mean, those are just inexperienced plays by guys that aren't experienced enough to understand that when you get a comeback, it's not the time to shoot things or do things that the percentages aren't high enough. So uncharacteristic, Cassius has 9 turnovers. I remember the days when those would be 4 games worth, and so he struggled, and I think that was great pressure by Purdue, and they put different people on him, quick guys, big guys. I thought Matt did a hell of a job, in all honesty, and probably knows how I feel because, those things happen. You go to Illinois and it happens, you go here and it happens. You're just disappointed that a big game on national TV, a great crowd, and you play like that. So I am disappointed. I didn't think we had many guys. I thought Rocket Watts played pretty well. I thought Foster did a good job. Didn't play enough minutes because of the size thing, but he did a great job in the huddles and really understood what was going on. And a couple of those freshmen battled. Give Williams credit. He's a very good player that is getting better and better. But they hit shots, and that was the difference in the game.
Some of the missed switches when they were kind of getting momentum early on, was that just miscommunication, or what was that done on?
Well, it was funny. Every day in practice, we talk about, we got a couple guys that say switch. My mother's 93 and she still yells at me more than that. The voice is stronger, and we all say, you're not going to hear that in a big building. You're not going to do this. And Cassius a couple times, brought it up in the huddles. That's what he was talking about. And we weren't even supposed to be switching. I mean, we just, like every team, there's a Batman, there's a Robin, and there's the Butler, and then there's a lot of role players that play their roles. Today, Batman was pedestrian-like, and Robin probably battled but didn't play very well, and the Butler is, it's struggling right now. It's a concern for us. Aaron has to play better. So we got to do a better job, but if you can be like this, we got to coach better too, because we can't have guys jacking shots. They got to know their roles. I've kind of gone over that, but I guess I didn't do a good enough job.
Tom, I know it's always hard to win on the road in this league, but it just seems like this year teams get behind early. They just have a real hard time getting, digging out of those holes. Is there anything at all to that being different this year in any way? I mean, there's a lot of teams getting beat by 25 and 30 on the road, good ones.
Well, I think one thing, if you look at, like us, with Langford, we were going to be one of the more experienced teams in the league, and all of a sudden we got a lot of rookies, young guys, guys that are playing. Purdue's got some, those guards are all sophomores and freshmen, ours are that way. Cassius is there, but I mean, him and, then we got a lot of sophomores and freshmen playing a lot. Illinois' got a lot of sophomores and freshmen playing, and I just think a lot of these teams, and then when you get a transfer in, sometimes the transfers that look like they're going to be great don't understand the system or the league, and some of those guys aren't helping as much. So I don't know. That's a good excuse. I don't know if it's one, but there's no reason why, if you're competitive and you're you should go on the road, and you got to be mentally tough and physically tough most of the time. Young guys are not very mentally tough. You can get them more physically tough before you get them mentally tough. Mental toughness comes from experience and maybe getting your butt kicked like we did today and figuring out what you're gonna do about it. But it's an interesting point, it's happening. Our league is the worst, and I think our league's the worst because our league's the best as far as attendance and things on the road. But I just can't stand using that as an excuse, because usually my teams are tougher physically, but maybe I'm underestimating the youth and how tough we aren't mentally right now.
Along those lines, I mean, you've been blitzed here before and won Big Ten titles and been to Final Fours, and it's part of the journey. Is there anything today that, with these young guys and the journey they need to be on, that concerns you greater than just being blitzed on the road and knowing you need to get those guys more mentally tough?
Yeah, I mean, I bet you we play 5 games, and knowing Cassius, I bet he doesn't have 9 turnovers in the next 5 games. You know, so I ain't worried about Cassius. I'm not worried about Xavier. I am worried about Aaron, because I think he's very valuable to our team, and attitude's been great and everything like this. I thought he passed up some shots early. You know, they say that the hardest thing going from one year to the other is your role changes, and everybody wants the role. You know, I mean, who doesn't want to be Batman? You know, I laugh every day with Doug Wojcik on my staff. He always talks about everybody wants to be the head coach. Well, it ain't as much fun as you think it is today. So, you know, I don't think, hell, I don't want to be the head coach today. So it's that's the way it is, you know, and he's got to step up in his role, and we got to do a better job coaching that, because we need him. He's valuable. Gabe, I thought Gabe worked his butt off today, just missed some of the shots he normally hits, but hey guys, they hit some shots now. I mean, when Boudreaux hit those 3 after 3 after 3, I mean, you know, sooner or later we should wise up, but I give them a lot of credit. They were, you know, they're a little desperate after a tough loss at Michigan, after getting, you know, beat like they did against Illinois, and doesn't surprise me that Matt would do that. That was Gene-cadius.
I know you mentioned coming in that this may have been the worst beating you've taken. I guess I'm curious of how you're going to plan to process this, and when you have one game in the next 11, 12 days, is it a good time to kind of refocus some things?
Well, it is for us. You know, we've had such a weird month, you know, with everything we've kind of gone through, and I still say that part of the problem is we don't get to practice enough. Even over Christmas, when it got a little better with Cash and everything, he was hurt. He missed all those practices, and so did Kyle Arns, and so did Rocket Watts. So, you know, we need some practice time. We probably need some movie time, meaning we need to watch our games and see how blatant some of these mistakes are, and then we've got to make these freshmen understand that AAU ball is in the summer, and real basketball, no insult to AAU, but is in the winter, and you can't grab the ball 40 feet away. And the one charge we got, I told the official, this isn't even any fun, because I can't even yell at them because it was so obvious. I thought Katie flew back in and took the charge. There were that many people standing there, and I mean, that's just a freshman kind of, you know, nobody takes charges in the summer. They say Olay and go in and make the layup, you know, and so, you know, that's part of the learning process for them. I don't necessarily blame them. I thought in that case, I told Xavier and Cash, you got to take over on the floor. I've only got so many timeouts, and I think they agreed. So we'll learn from it. There's only one way. I've done this for so long. I'm gonna work, and I'm gonna work. We'll work harder than we worked, and we're gonna get it straightened out.
What's kind of the, you know, in your mind, the response you want to see when the team kind of sells out and throws 2 guys that catches off those ball screens?
Be honest with you, that's where Xavier really, I mean, we knew that was gonna happen. There was not a doubt in my mind. I mean, I've seen the full court pressure, bodying guys, jumping those things since, you know, since Gene. And to Matt's credit, I mean, I thought he did a hell of a job. To our credit, we did a poor job of adjusting, and we knew it coming in. We had some things, but Cash didn't throw back enough, and Xavier didn't, do the things he needed to do. We got some good shots when we did. We got Aaron a couple of wide open shots he didn't take. Finally, the second half, he took a couple. So, I mean, somebody wants to copy it, go ahead. You better copy it with guys who are gonna play as hard as those guys played, and I don't know many in the conference that do that. So if they can do that, go right ahead. We'll be ready for it.
Got time for a couple more, Kyle and Hondo.
Tommy, you had a lot of young guys go against Travion today. Looked like you took some different looks in. I wonder how you evaluated how they did in that matchup.
Well, even that, I mean, we were gonna do some things there. We were doubling on the cutter, and I don't think he got doubled all day. Do you?
Out there, some points that they have, maybe not.
Maybe one or two. You remind me of a guy on my staff. Whenever we say that it didn't happen, that's never means 90%. So I'd say it's safe to say 90% we didn't do what we were supposed to do, and the only one that should be blamed for that is me, because that means we didn't get it across to him enough. But Travion's a hell of a player. I love the kid. Know his uncle, who was here today, and you know what? He's one kid I can be happy for. I love his journey. I love what he's done. We were one that sort of passed on him. At least we recruited him. Some other schools didn't even recruit him, but it's the American dream to see what that kid's doing. People didn't believe in him, and I think Matt and his staff deserve a lot of credit too, because he's going to get better. He's going to get better. So I thought our guys, size mismatch, we knew we weren't going to be able to handle that one-on-one. What did he end up with? What were his stats? The NCAA.
He had 16
saving ink,
points,
so they put these small things.
16.7 rebounds.
That's not that's half and half of what he got last game. So I should be doing cartwheels when I leave here. It was good.
Tom, during your win streak, got back in the top 10, you warned people about not making too much, but you keep telling them, we're gonna work, we're gonna fix this thing. Is there danger of making too much out of one loss at a greater road arena and a great environment?
Oh, no, not when you do things. They shot well. I think Matt told, one of our assistants, man, I don't think they could have played much better. That you guys from Purdue here, is that one of the best games they played this year? Thank you. And Duke said it to me after, I'm starting to either think one of two things. Either everybody's getting up for us, or we're not showing up in a big game. So either way, it doesn't make me happy. So is there anything can we make too big a deal? No. Not when their effort was good. We got out-rebounded. We don't get out-rebounded very often. The turnovers, how many we end up with?
We ended up with
I feel like he's my senile dog here.
18, they had 6.
If you look at a couple of those stats, the game should have been just what it was, a butt-kicking, politically correct society now, so we got butts kicked today, and it sounds like I'm making fun of it, and it's only so I don't jump out of the plane on the way home, because I don't feel very good. I feel embarrassed. I feel embarrassed for our fans. I feel embarrassed for our national TV audience. I feel embarrassed for our staff, because you get beat like that, head coach has to take a look at him. And so we'll reevaluate everybody. We will make a big deal about this game. We will not live and die with it. We will get better from it, and that's what I plan on doing. So hats off to Purdue. They've gone through some tough times in a way too, and maybe it looks like their freshmen are sophomores are starting to play better, and Harms came in and found a way to play, even though he looked like he couldn't even walk after that Michigan game. So give him some credit, and the crowd was great, which it always is. So it's been two teams that played for a lot in the last 10 years, and I don't see that changing much. Our record's a little better now, or their record. End of the year, we're going to both be playing for some. Thanks.